Hello and welcome. My name is Esther. I'm an artist healer. Most of my work is done in person with one-on-one clients and groups. However, this is just another way that I connect with the collective to remind you of your beauty. So today we're just going to look into a grounding of a foundation, what you need to look at, especially if you're finding that your life is moving in a new direction right now. Which it may be. So if it is, then this reading may be for you. Wow. So from the sacred symbols, you first got message that came through. You got knowledge. Wow. And courage. I can already get a sense of this reading, collective. So journeying forward into newness of your life. We're going to take from the Star Codes Astro. And we're just going to get a little bit of a storyline here for you and see what Spirit has to say. So Spirit, just from the Astro, healing for message, knowledge, and courage, please. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So here we have Sagittarius, expand. Beautiful. Wow, so you're really about to step into something new. Capricorn, achieve. Mercury energy as well. Messages again. Wow. Okay, this is very fascinating, and it has a snake, like the Ouroboros of this year. So a lot coming in, probably from the spiritual world, but also opportunities that are coming in that are brand new for you. So this is really a transformation in your direction. And then you got moon perception. Amazing. So yes, very spiritually orientated. Requires a lot of courage because, of course, you're stepping into the unknown. And you're stepping into most likely more of the soul's work. So we're going to pull from the Psychic Tarot and get any clarity, anything else Spirit wants to add to your message this morning. Thank you, Spirit. Anything else for message, knowledge, courage for the collective? Where are they journeying? What is coming in that they're building anew? Being brave to step into a brand new chapter of life. A lot of shifts, changes, letting go this year. Thank you. Okay, collective. You got, yeah. Wow. So you got obstacles and challenges. Right? So you're really phasing out from the old, having to look at where are you being challenged? What are you not looking at? Or what are you procrastinating on? It can be that as well, right? Major procrastination. Maybe even that's why the courage came out in your foundation, is really to be bold and be courageous and know thyself in this next chapter. You also got discontentment and boredom. Exactly. So you're moving away. You need to step into the new. And you also, in your obstacles, got trapped in fear. We'll get one more clarifier for that. How can they overcome this, please, Spirit? How can they overcome this base? Thank you. You got deception and envy. So fascinating, collective. All right. So this may be also where you're actually showing up in this brand new way for the first time now more than ever. With messages coming in, it really means trust that energy of the Mercury, right? Because Mercury is also about energies, the Mercury energy, mercurial energy, the flow of the light and the dark. And also the moon. What is your perception of this? What is your higher self trying to tell you and guide you? Because knowledge coming through, this is a lot to be like the student and the teacher, right? So perhaps you're wanting to continue in some form of learning, stepping into expanding on your skills within that realm of knowledge, within that wheelhouse. And this is going to take immense courage because this means leaving everything that was known and stepping into the truth of whom you are. Because with the expansion and achieve, with these two coming out, both with the Capricorn and the Sagittarius energy, this is like this, they're both very much a charging forward energy. Achieve an expansion. So where are you being called to expand, to adjust, and to really hit your achievements? Because you have dreams, but now it's about the work and the effort and the forward movement. It's also about having courage through everything that shifted this year. Ultimately, at some point in some part of you, you asked for this shift. And so now that it's present and other elements have fallen away, you now have this responsibility and accountability to really take charge and take this opportunity, because the time is now. So where is it that you're being called to journey to? Because with the expansion and achieve, this means that a lot is about to come in, and it's going to be on a larger scale. That's why this courage is here, and that's why perhaps also you've got these three here, right? The obstacles and challenges, the boredom, and the trapped in fear. So what part of you is still healing out, right? Because when we confront our fears, especially when we step into something new or we're ready to manifest, we will be met by old conditioning, right? So this is where you're being tested now more than ever. It's like those little trickles of fears of, is this going to work out? Am I good enough? I'm uncertain of this path forward, but I have this intuitive feeling that I need to go here. Spirit is saying, yes, do exactly that. Because with the Mercury and the knowledge coming in, it's very much about messages. You're about to receive the clarity, but first you need to take that leap. First you need to put in action so that the universe can meet you, right? Because with this deception and envy at the bottom, perhaps you're worried about what others will think of you through these changes. But you know that that is not any of your concern. What matters the most is, what do you think of you? Because this life is really short, and you know that you want to do something of meaning, of value, that is really connected to your soul. And you want to make that impact, that splash, that difference, to leave something behind in this lifetime while you can. Because this lifetime is really about confronting our fears, right? The more that we can move through the obstacles and the challenges and learn from them through the waking life, that is how we expand. That's where these achievements and expansions come. It's about moving through the fear, feeling the fear and doing it anyway. So with everything that has clearly moved out of your life this year, it has been this marker gifting you the repositioning to put you on the correct path. So if you are stumbling along or feeling stagnant, trapped in fear, discontent, feeling obstacles and challenges, just more and more resistance, Spirit is saying, let go of the how, let go of the overthinking, right? This is very much, the trapped in fear is a lot to do with the mind. It's a mental, emotional element. So it's like with the discontentment and boredom, it's like you're not aligning to that of your heart. And this is where Spirit is saying, do more that aligns with your heart. Focus more presently in each day. Because the tasks that you're wanting to achieve, the tasks that your goals and achievements you're aiming for, the manifestations that you're aiming for, they're going to come through the surrendering and having the courage to just allow what comes. And to just journey into those unknown new realms that you're planning to do. You may be planning for travel as well. The moon being in perception too, next to the secondary Mercury messages, just means that this is an inward process. This is only going to happen through you. And the heart is needed to overcome this discontentment and boredom, this feeling lost or stagnant kind of energy, the in-between energy. And that is normal, especially when you go through an ego death or a lot of change in your life. There will be a period of, even with this moth spirit, right? This period of the chrysalis, this period of the change, before the transformation takes birth, takes flight. So ultimately, it's about kind of really readjusting your sights into the knowledge you already have, knowing that you're ready, more than capable to be this leader. However, also holding the humility that there's still much to learn. We learn through all our lives. We are ever learning and growing and shifting and changing. So you can be as slow or as fast as you want in this next chapter's leap, but it is really important that your expansion takes form, because that's where all the achievements come in, right? 9 into the 10. The expansion and then the achievements. So you need to expand your mind, you need to expand your view, but it can only be done with the inward heart. And it can only be done with facing those fears and meeting the obstacles and challenges that present themselves for you. And the only way to meet them is move through them. It's about putting in the action, saying, okay, I have this problem or this situation or this obstacle that I've been procrastinating on, possibly. How can I put in the first few steps to move this forward? Showing the universe, I am ready for this new chapter. I am ready for this wish fulfillment. I am ready to take the lead into my destiny's soul's growth. I am ready to surrender and let go of what was, because that has fallen away. I'm going to surrender to that process, knowing that it was meant to fall away, even if I cannot understand it in this current moment. You can hold in your heart, okay, if it's fallen away and I've had these changes this year, then clearly they were necessary changes to redirect me onto that path that is actually of my highest good, that is actually developing your soul. Because sometimes we can get stagnant, right? If there's too much stagnancy in life and there's no forward growth, sometimes spirit will step in, or the universe will step in, or life will step in and switch it up so that you can continue growing and learning and expanding. And also, once you go on a spiritual path, it really only puts more seriousness and like accountability on you to follow through, right? So, meaning, okay, I'm going to speak about this first, actually, before we get your outcome oracle from the Earth Warrior. Essentially, when you grow and evolve spiritually, it doesn't mean just going all into light. It actually means that as you grow in your capacities, you then become more and more responsible for all the actions that you do forward. Because once you have the knowing, you are responsible for that knowing to carry it out, right? So just like children, they have a grander leeway of learning, right? They make a whoopsie, it's okay, you're learning, you're growing, it's forgiven, all is well. But as we mature and we grow, a temper tantrum or acting out as an adult in a very immature way is not really acceptable anymore. It would as a child, because a child is learning and growing. They don't know any better, so to speak. But when you know better, the ramification of that leeway gets thin, it gets smaller, right? That is the same with spiritual awakening. That is the same with wanting to do greater in the world. That's why there's a higher discipline for those who take a higher spiritual path. There is a higher expectation of not succumbing to addictions, for example, or different elements that are no longer constructive for the development of the soul and spirit. So once you step into a spiritual path, it actually means you now have more of a responsibility to honor that. That's what Spirit's saying here. That's why they're saying you need to move through and let go of this boredom and this discomfort. You're keeping yourself stagnant. Only you can pull yourself out of that. Or where you're still being trapped in a few fears, only you can get yourself out of that, and you know how. You need to just take action and come back to the presence. Slow and steady wins the race. Put in those new rhythms and those new patterns that actually embrace and enhance the path that you're striving for. Because you need to match that with your way of being. You cannot strive for a higher view if you're not matching that with your way of being. And that's what this year has been taught to you, most likely, through either lessons learned and changes or shifts or unexpected things that were not the easiest to go through. They were necessary to evolve you, to teach you, to bring the wisdom and the maturity and the emotional intelligence back in, and also to overcome, to grow, and to become reliable on the self once more. So when it comes to the spiritual, what I mean by that, it becomes more where you're more accountable. yes, when you know better, what you get away with will be less. So the ramification of errors and mistakes will become that much louder when you're off your path. That is why it's meant to be taken incredibly seriously, but you also have to be ready and you also have to be willing, because it means a change of a way of being in tandem with the work that you're birthing out to the world. So it's twofold in that sense. And it's not easy. And I applaud you, because you are the bridge maker, but it leads to expansion. It leads to wish fulfillment. Everything has cause and effect. So all the good that you do and all the shifts that you are willing to create for the betterment of your mind, body, soul, spirit, or for your work or for your soul development becomes rewarded. So that's where the peace and the harmony comes in. Yes, but it also takes courage. It takes your willingness to learn and grow. It takes your willingness to put the effort in, the willingness to shift your patterns and your habits for the better in all ways. And that takes a very strong will. That takes a willingness to put in the work and to let go of what was, let go of the material, but rather understanding that you can have both. And it will come into harmony. You're allowed to be a spiritual person and be wealthy in all ways, of course. But you have to put in the work to get there. You have to put in the work to receive it. We can't just meditate and dream and imagine and get stuck in that. You also have to put in the 3D physical action and intention and hard work in tandem with it to build what it is that you're growing, and to be willing to market yourself or get out there and be able to be willing to be seen, to shine, and also get out of hermit mode, right? The hermit mode is necessary. The introspection is necessary, yes. But in tandem to that, it's also about stepping out to be that guide and that leader for others, to share your message and to, allow your life to, really embark on this newness. This is quite special. I was actually feeling this energy this morning in meditation. I was sitting outside and meditating and bringing streams of light through my body. You may really resonate with the chakras. You may need to do a healing that really brings you back into that harmony and that light stream of your body, right? And to really come back into that sun, into that Merkaba, finding your wings again, finding that auric field around you becoming purified, and through your chakras and your alignment becoming purified. So, this is amazing. Okay, this is the guardian of Papa Tuanuku. Papa Tuanuku. So, Kai Tiaki, it says, make peace with your past. Acknowledge any experiences of abandonment whilst releasing the fear and not being supported in the future. Trust that you belong and that your life has value and purpose. Wow, this is a beautiful summing up of this energy collective. Your connection with Earth Goddess runs deep. She will support you in all ways, and as you relax, you will recognize this most readily. Allow the Divine Mother to be your friend and guide, whilst trusting that all additional allies will arrive at the right moment. Earth Mother has her own sense of timing, and you are not forgotten. Have faith in yourself and in her. Exactly. So collective, if there's still this kind of in-between energy of what you've moved away from and what you're going into, this is such a beautiful reminder. And so ground, right? Grounding. Find that safety, that security, and that grounding within you. Connect into nature, go outside. And remember that you are held and you're more than enough. You are safe. And once you find that safety and that stability and that security within yourself, that inner honor, that heart forces, reconnecting and solidifying your sight on your goals, putting in practical action for forward movement, all the rest will fall into place, because until you're in energetic alignment, what's waiting for you can't connect to you. That's what the Earth Mother is really saying about that divine timing. The divine timing will come in when you're ready. So I'm really, really proud of you, because it means that you're moving towards greatness. So keep going and don't lose hope. Don't allow those fears to trick you. You know, we have such a polarizing energy in humanity right now, with the two light and dark forces pulling humanity in different ways, right? So heal, find that middle path, honor what was, heal what needs to be moved through you, move the body so that the energy can be positively and constructively let go out of you, and do a little more of resetting your sights into your rhythm and your habits and your routines that are actually nourishing to your body and in alignment with the work and where you're going, right? So align with that and take responsibility back for you. Take the power back into you. Soul retrieval. I call back all of my gifts. I call back my soul. Soul retrieval. I call back my power. Release all energies that are not mine. That kind of thing, right? So you've got this, because this is clear that it's not much longer before you're really going to open up into a miraculous timeline, because you're with it. You're on time and there's no rush, right? Spirit is saying this is all here for you. It can't go all of a sudden disappear. It's not going to disappear. It's still here. So put in the action. The more action you put in is either you decide how fast or how slow this changes, but the change is happening regardless. So congratulations, because you are stepping into your dreams. You are stepping in to doing wish fulfillment work, aligning with like minds, living in your dream location or home, connecting with family that you really, really love, enveloping that environment that is really a match for you, that is really a match for your soul, and most importantly, doing soul-aligned work. So this is a beautiful reading, because you're overcoming. You're currently doing it. So keep going. Hold that true north. Retain your courage, right? Your foundation being messages coming in. Knowledge, right? New knowledge, new insight. Messages, new knowledge and insight. Student and teacher. You are good enough already. Your voice needs to be shared. And courage. Keep going. Hold that courage strong, because that's all that's needed. You're doing it currently, so keep going, because there's a lot of goodness on the other side, and that's quite evident. And that was confirmed by the Earth Mother. Yeah. So surrender. Let go of what was. All will be well, but you're being asked to let go. All right. Cheers. Much, much love and light. And comment, subscribe if you like, if you find my videos valuable or if they resonate. I'd love to hear from you. It means a lot, because ultimately we're all here for each other. So yeah, much love. Cheers.